Good morning. This is the first of these recorded services I've started without the mask. You must trust me. Our friend Alan Goto is a good 50 feet away from me, and he is masked. I will wear my mask as soon as the service and Dharma talk are over. I would ask you, if you don't mind, this service being recorded for November 29th of the year 2020, I would ask you, if you will, join me in the chanting of the Juseige. Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Busatsu, Daimuryo, Jukyo, Juseige, Gagon Cho Thegan, Kishimu Jodo, Shigan Hu Mandoku, Thehujo Shogak, Gao Muryoko, Uidai Theishu, Uthai Sho Bingu, Thehujo Shogaku, Gashidyo Butendo, Myosho Jippo, Kukyo Mi Shomon, Thehujo Shogaku, Ryokujin Shonen, Joeshu Bongyo, Shigumu Jodo, Isho Tenin Shi, Jinrikien Daiko, Ushomu Daido, Shoujo San Kumyo, Kotai Shu Yakunan, Kaihichi Egen, Meshi Kon Moan, Hei Sokusho Akudo, Tudatten Shumon, Kothojo Mandoku, Iolo Jippo, Ichigatten Shujuki, Tenko Onhugen, Ishu Kai Hodo, Koseku Dokuho, Jo Odai Shuchu, Seppo Shi Shiku, Kuyo Isaya Buten, Gu Sokushu Tokuhon, Ganne Shinjoman, Tokui Thongayo, Nyobuten Mugechi, Tudaten Mi Husho, Gangaku Eiriki, Toshi Sai Shoson, Shiganya Koka, Gaisen O Kando, Koku Sho Tenin, To Jinmyoke. Namman Nabu, Namman Nabu, Namman Nabu, Namman Nabu, Namman Nabu, Namman Nabu. Ganiya Shikudoku, Byodo Sei Isai, Don Monai Shin Onyo, On La Namanda Burmanda, Namanda 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 Burmanda, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo Mita Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning. Thank you for observing the service and Dharma talk. This Dharma message is being placed in cyberspace, so I'm not certain when you're viewing this. As a result, my challenge will be to present a Dharma talk that's appropriate for any time, a Dharma message for all seasons, so to speak. So I will speak about the basics of the Dharma. Go to some very basic concepts. However, a cautionary remark first, if I may. The cautionary remark is that the basics are not always what's most important. For Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, the vow of the Buddha and the Nembutsu are crucial, and I will speak about them at length at another time, actually at many other times. But I want to talk today about the three marks, or the three seals they are called in Buddhist tradition. Those teachings, the three marks, also called the three seals, are taught in all schools of Buddhism, and they are at the basis of all schools of Buddhism. There is more than one way of understanding these three concepts. But I will be speaking from the Jodo Shinshu school, the Jodo Shinshu school of the Mahayana stream of Buddhist tradition, where these three seals or marks are understood in this way. Again, these are on all the Buddhist paths, these three marks. The three marks are impermanence, no soul, and the fact that enlightenment alone will bring true fulfillment. So please allow me to discuss these three seals, as we say, the three seals of the Buddhist path, or the three marks of all existence, a little bit each in detail. The three seals of the Buddhist path, again, are also the three marks of all existence, the Sanbo-in. That means these are true whether you're a Buddhist or not. Most of what we teach, we say, if you look at it this way, it is this way. These three teachings, we say, this is how it is. Everything is constantly changing. Everything is impermanent. This teaching is even voiced negatively. Impermanent. Things aren't permanent. What you want permanence, you don't got it. Impermanent. Voicing it negatively, as Buddhist teachers usually do, is cautionary. Oh, look out. Everything is ending. Everything's just about to end. Everything you love is changing. Everything you cared for is gone and changing. But impermanence really is simply a mark of existence. An unchanging aspect of life is that everything changes. So instead of saying that everything is impermanent, we could put it slightly more positively if we say that everything is changing. Isn't that great? Everything is changing isn't necessarily a negative fact, is it? It is a fact about the world in any case, and a fact that Buddhists make a point of being mindful of. Everything is in constant change. That everything changes means that objects disappear and people change. We love old objects. I miss my Studebaker lark. And we receive new ones. When we let go of those old objects, we'll receive new ones. I was given this remarkable vehicle that I drive now, an Audi A6. It has a name. I name my cars. The name of my car is Kunitake Mitokawa. It has a long name, but Kuni for short. Name your car. This is the first male car I've had. I've named all the others with female names, but this guy seemed more male. But I Studebaker lark, and my Studebaker lark has been gone now for 51 years. I think I should get over it by now. We miss things we like. But when we let go of those old objects, we get new ones. We let go of our family and our friends as they were, and we can enjoy them as they are now and as they are becoming. This is kind of an aside, but as you know, most Buddhist teachings are said to be useful for certain people at certain times. Emptiness, for example, emptiness can be a very useful teaching. It's usually not, for most Buddhists, of much value, but it can be. And I told you in another Dharma message, Emptiness has been a very important concept to me about half a dozen times in my life. The Nembutsu has been important to me every day of my life for the last 37 years. Different strokes for different folks, different teachings for different people at different times. This is the Buddhist way. Relying on the promise of Amida Buddha can be deeply true. For many of us, much of the time, relying on the promise of Amida Buddha is deeply true. However, these three marks, constant change, no soul, and enlightenment alone will bring fulfillment. These are facts about the world. They're always true for everyone. This is the only three things the Buddhists say are always true for everyone. Things are changing, they're going to keep changing. Constant change means that I couldn't have my discerning 16-year-old son, Ren, if I hadn't lost the charming 5-year-old who he used to be. I remember when he was 5 or so, he first saw a pen that opened sideways. This just knocked him out. You know, pens are supposed to go like this, click on, click off, click on, click off. This one opens sideways, that's so cool. At 5 years of age, he was just enamored of this sideways opening pen. He's not like that at 16. It's harder to charm him with things now. I miss the 5-year-old, but I love the 16-year-old. My first son, Sho, was utterly charming also at 5 years of age. But at 22 years of age, he's a physicist studying antimatter, gravity from a quantum mechanics perspective, and relativity. I can say those three things. I have no idea what they really mean. But he's doing meaningful work for all of us. But I miss the 5-year-old Sho, too. I love the 16-year-old vision of Ren. He can get my smartphone working when I can't figure it out. The 5-year-old version of Ren couldn't do that. Moving on, if I may, the second seal of Buddhist living definitely sounds negative at first. There is no soul. There is no non-physical, mental, spiritual thingy behind our biological personhood, explaining it and explaining its continuing identity. There's no soul thing. Sounds negative, but it's not bad news at all. It's the best news you ever heard. You are not some tiny little spirit thing stuck inside a body. You are not some ghost in a machine. You and I are aspects of the big thing, the true and vast reality. Your life is quite real. You are a person. In Sanskrit, that's Purusha. You are a person. You are an individual, Pudgala in Sanskrit. These have never been denied in Buddhist tradition. What we deny is just there's some non-physical soul thing behind it all, causing it to be a unit, a ghost within a machine, a soul. That is a false view. The body is not a machine, and your mind and body are sub-processes within universal becoming. You and I are aspects of universal process. You are not isolated and alone. You are not Eleanor Rigby. You and I are aspects of the great reality. We are aspects of the universe awakening to itself. Or as John Lennon put it once, you are he as I am he, as you are me, as we are all together. It's from I Am the Walrus. You are he as I am he, as you are me, as we are all together. If you had a separate little soul thing and that was you, you couldn't do this. We are all together in this great, marvelous, immense reality, this vast process. This is a fact. You aren't some separate thing. You're part of the big whole. That big whole is constantly changing. That's a fact. And the third thing we say is a fact, the third mark of all existence, hear us now and believe us later, is that awakening to enlightenment will resolve all of our suffering and fulfill our deepest aspirations. Awakening is a process, and it takes place in matters of degree. Our path, the Jodo Shinshu path on the Mahayana gate, is based on the simple awakening to the fact that we are cared for, simply awakening to the fact that the Buddha cares for us, that Amida Buddha, absolute subjectivity, the deep mind behind all the Buddhas accepts us as we are and takes us into itself. In saying the Nembutsu, we hear the voice of life itself within our own voices. In saying the Nembutsu, we hear love. We hear that we and all those we care for are loved. feeling cared for, knowing that we are loved, knowing that we're accepted by the depths of reality and the breadths of reality, we can accept others. We can accept challenging facts about our lives, like constant change. We, saying the Buddha's name in forms like, I rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life, or Namo Amida Butsu, saying the Buddha's name on occasion, we can face the constant change within and around us. We can accept that we are moving and changing and are not some fixed subject of all this experience. As the experience changes, so do we. So does the subject of experience. So do you, so do I change. So this is my Dharma talk for all seasons, for any season, for any time. All Buddhists are founded upon these three marks of existence, and this is the only thing we have to say that we insist is true. Everything is changing. You are not some separate little spirit thing stuck in the middle of it. You are an aspect of this great universal process. And there is awakening. Whatever else there is in this world, there is awakening to Buddhahood. This will bring us freedom, happiness, and an unbroken connection with those we love. We are living amidst constant change. We are changing, but reality is waking up to itself. Our waking to Buddhahood will be an important part of this growing illumination. Right now, we can awake to the Buddha's compassion. For just now, let us close by turning our attention to that compassion by saying the Buddha's name. If you would, please join me in Gassho in closing this Dharma message. We rely upon the source of limitless wisdom and endless life. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida.